live. Thank you so much for joining me again. Brethren, read beyond the caption of this broadcast. Always read the description of the broadcast. Like the broadcast because that is your own offering. Every time you join the sermon, that is your offering. You like the broadcast first. And as they say, there is love in sharing. So therefore, share the broadcast. To invite your friends, your not so friendly friends, your frenemies, right? The Buharidins, invite all of them. Buharidins, Buhari the Derins, Buhari the Notus, Buhari the Jatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungoziaris, the Unnekaharis, the Articulutas, the articulated Mugus, the articulated Morons, the Lagos Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the all-risers. Tell them that Mayegun today, and sit back, relax, while I roll out what I have for us this evening. And if you have done all of that already, thank you again. So tonight, we have an update. They are like series. Mostly the conversation tonight is going to be, it's going to be on the atrocities of the Fulani terrorists. And the one man that warned all of us ahead of time years ago, a man that because of his, vision, he was able to warn us ahead, and that automatically puts a target on his back. Mazi NNAMDI Kanu. The Nigeria criminal system, the Nigeria criminal politicians have done so much in spreading different kind of propaganda to justify the criminality, the illegality, the illegitimacy of the continued trial of NNAMDI Kanu. And just last month, if you will remember, or recall, rather, Mazi NNAMDI Kanu's lawyers, right, received an impromptu appearance letter from the discredited, compromised Binta Nyako, the woman that is being used to perpetuate the illegality of the continued illegal detention of NNAMDI Kanu. She demanded to see NNAMDI Kanu and his lawyers. And upon their arrival in court, she wanted them to start defending whatever case she thinks she has against him. Unfortunately for her, NNAMDI Kanu had to take the stand, challenged the supposed lawyer of the government of Nigeria. NNAMDI Kanu was initially, well, let's start from the, a rollback place, okay? Mazi NNAMDI Kanu became the enemy of the ruiners, the looters, the dream killers, destiny killers of that contraption called Nigeria, when he started raising alarm on the impending terrorism of the Fulani terrorists, and how much the supposed people that are supposed to keep, the people that are supposed to keep you and I safe in that contraption, how much they have now in bed, and in fact, how much they were going to protect these terrorists the moment they begin to attack us. That NNAMDI Kanu saw ahead of time, that automatically puts a target on his back. The Nigerian system, the criminals in Nigeria did everything, and they are still doing it, to ensure that they criminalize the supposed democratic tenant called referendum. Something that is not criminal. They decided to criminalize it. Not just that. They used the NNAMDI Kanu's expose on them. They used that to perpetuate another set of state-sponsored genocide. Some said it is a massacre, but it is both systemic ethnic tribal cleansing orchestrated by those in charge of Nigeria. Let me give you an idea of what that means. The Fulani terrorists, for some reason, they have declared jihad on the rest of us in that Nigeria. Anyone demanding that we should go our separate ways is considered an enemy to this project. And that is why today, the Nigeria criminal system, they went as far as going to Kenya to break international treaty, break international law by kidnapping NNAMDI Kanu. So when they took him to Nigeria, their own courts, they charged him for terrorism. Can you believe that? No, sorry, they actually initially charged him for treason. When they couldn't really prove any of that, because their own court said nobody can try NNAMDI Kanu in Nigeria. No court can try NNAMDI Kanu in Nigeria because of the process in which he was abducted, kidnapped, right, drugged, and smuggled back into Nigeria. That breaks international law. Nigeria broke law because they wanted to keep a man, a single man that kept, knocking senses into the ears of this thick skull of these Nigerians about the impending doom that is going to be championed by the Fulani terrorists and their sponsor. So since then, right, they continue in the pathway of this illegality by continuing to manipulate their own judicial system, so compromised that NNAMDI Kanu then said, I can't get any justice from this place. There will be no justice in this courtroom. There will be no justice in court of Binta and Nyako. Because Binta and Nyako as husband, our son, they are currently standing trial for corruption, systemic corruption in Nigeria. And those who kidnapped NNAMDI Kanu, who disobeyed their own court judgments, those who have continued to sort of compromise the judiciary, because, compromise the judiciary until they will get a predetermined final judgment, which has become so almost impossible in their own court. So NNAMDI Kanu last month was in their court, where he challenged Binta and Nyako. Meanwhile, back in September 2024, Binta and Nyako, after months of pressure coming from NNAMDI Kanu, that you need to recuse yourself. You do not have any legal standing to actually try me. You can't try me. You are a compromised individual. You are not even independent. You are not independent-minded. So in September 2024, Nyako recused herself from the case. I said, well, I hands off. I can't try NNAMDI Kanu. I don't want to be part of this case anymore. Only for who they call the president of the Federal High Court in Nigeria to write what is called an internal memo that she must continue and she must convict NNAMDI Kanu. So when NNAMDI Kanu saw, when she sent this emergency appearance letter, and NNAMDI Kanu showed up, same thing happened. She was expecting NNAMDI Kanu's lawyers to put up a defense. A defense for what? They said, oh, they've dropped the treason. They've dropped the treason charges. Now they are charging NNAMDI Kanu for terrorism. So NNAMDI Kanu committed terrorism in their own DSS detention. How? So NNAMDI Kanu stood up and said, you may be daft, you may be compromised, but listen, I'm not stupid. Listen to me again, Madam Judge. You do not have any right, legal standing to try me. Here are the section of your own laws, your own constitution in this contraption that says you have recused yourself. And no internal memo, right? Internal memo will change that. You would have to first of all appeal your recusal. And if any other judge in this your contraption decided, right, to reinstate you, that is when you can say, okay, you want to try me. But in my own, from my own side, you are never going to try me. I hope all of you remember that scenario. If you have forgotten, I think I have a copy here. Just a quick reminder of that scenario.
He did something in my case. I refused him. He was conscious official. I asked him to recuse himself. Why did the chief judge not insist? I was right. He left my case.
Okay, listen. If anybody is not happy with this, which is true, then you need to go and
No, I cannot. Because I have a court order. I have a court order. You have recused yourself. I have a court order. Anybody who disagrees with this order of court, go to appeal court. That's what you tell me all the time. You are conscious official. You cannot preside over this case number again. Not in this life. You cannot. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. A woman here cannot force these courts to preside on my case. You cannot. Not today, not till forever. You are recused and you stand recused. Tell the chief judge, not the kind of said, go on appeal. I recused him from my case. The state recused Justice Adema from my case. I did not insist Adema must hear my case. I never insisted. So why must you insist to hear my case? I don't want you in my case. I don't need you in my case. You are biased. You are biased. You cannot be in my case. I want you to do the right thing. A chairman of the board of Benta's constitution receives propriety. Nowhere in the world is such nonsense done. You cannot be hobnobbing with lawyers, hobnobbing with justices, and you're proceeding a case. It's shameful. Absolutely shameful. Shameful. This is not a court of law. This is a shrine to injustice. And I will not subject myself to it. You stand recused and you must take my case. You cannot try me. This man is not paying attention. There is an order of recusal, and he's a senior advocate, for goodness sake. There's an order of recusal. Is that not the rule of law? The law says if you disagree with this, you go and appeal. You are a grown-up man. Because of 300 million, you're behaving like a child. Go and appeal. Because of money. Because of money they're paying you from ATM office, you are here standing and smoking evil. Because of money. A grown-up man like you say you have to behave like a man of honor. The rule of law says you go and appeal. His Lordship Binta Nyako will not try my case. Not on this planet Earth, I'm telling you that now. So stop wasting your time.
So the paradise, as I said, is view of the past that the defendant has indicated that he will not make a formal application. I apply that the Lordship was extremely day for hearing.
You are not well. You are not well. I'm telling you, this is what I'm not well. This is an order of court. An order of court says Justice Binta Nyako is recused. An order of court. Order she made as an order. The same Chief Justice writing the stupid memo he's writing. I recused him. He was functus official. He sat on appeal. I took him to NJC. I recused him. Why did he not say I must sit on your case? Why in the case of his lordship is he insisting? He wants to embarrass her. He wants to embarrass your lordship by asking her to come and sit on this case. Is that what you're saying? There's an order of, give it to him. He doesn't have it. Give him an order of court. It's an order of court. Give it to him. He doesn't have it. An order. Give it. He doesn't have it. It's an order of court. It's an order of court.
I ask your permission to address you. But let me tell the defendant that in everything life, there's need for wisdom. And wisdom is very important in this matter.
And tell him lies.
It is not right for you to be insulting the teacher and insulting.
If you insult yourself, I will insult you. If you have no respect for yourself, I will insult you. Because people are telling the law, when it comes to NNAMDI, you turn the law upside down. The law says one thing. If the law says this paper is white, when I go to court, they say it's black. When I say it's black, they say it's white. Is that law? I'm asking you, a senior advocate of Nigeria, is that law? Is the memo from Chief Judge? Is memo from Chief Judge sufficient to set aside a court order? The answer is no. Why do you want to change the law in my own case? His Lordship, Justice Binta Nyako, stand recused in my case. Cannot try me. Why don't you get it? Give me your delegate for trial so you can do your mathematics you always do. People without shame. I have here before me for the benefit of Chief Awomolo because it seems he doesn't know the law. So I will tell him, this is national judicial policy of this country. Please give them a copy each. National judicial policy of Nigeria. National judicial policy. I will tell you what it says. Because you don't know, I will tell you. Talking about memo from the Chief Judge of the High Court. Judicial policy of Nigeria. 1C. I'm reading. Verbatim. In the performance of judicial functions, The judge is subject only to the law and must only consider the law. The rule of law in every common law jurisdiction in the world is that once an order of court is entered, the only way to set it aside is by going on appeal. That's the rule of law. But it's not advocate, you don't know. I will go to see. A judge must not take or attempt to take orders or instructions of any kind from anyone, including the chief judge, from anybody that may influence his decisions in the performance of the judicial function. It means that his lordship, having entered an order of court, a decision between myself and her.
You cannot try me. What is so difficult in understanding that? What is difficult in understanding that statement? Is not just saying it. It is written in your supposed, what do you call it? Your supposed law book. Anyway, that went on that Binta and Nyako, frustrated, decided to adjourn the case sine die. That is, until further notice. So NNAMDI Kanu made them realize that, listen, I defeated you in your own appeal court, where a judgment was entered that I cannot be tried in any court in Nigeria. There is a judgment to that. And what happened afterward? Abubakar Malamu decided, he actually begged. He begged in what he called stay of execution. What the heck? Like, a judgment is entered. And somebody says, oh, because that judgment did not favor us. Please, for the sake of national security, we want to beg the courts to stay execution of that judgment until we wait for the Supreme Court. What the Supreme Court will say. So then they go to the Supreme Court. They argued back and forth. So the same compromised Supreme Court delivered a near straightforward kind of a judgment. Let me tell you what it did. The Supreme Court says, number one, the revocation of NNAMDI Kanu's bail was wrong. What does that mean? It should be reinstated. It was this Binta and Nyako that revoked NNAMDI Kanu's bail after the Nigerian army attempted to kill him. The day they attempted to kill NNAMDI Kanu, they killed over 30 people in his house. Afaraoku in Abia. Over 30 young people were killed, including family dog. So how dare you, Nyako, withdraw his bail condition and said that he jumped bail? What do you mean by? So the Supreme Court cleared that in that judgment. They said NNAMDI Kanu did not jump bail. So which means NNAMDI Kanu should be freed. And if you have any case, then the Supreme Court now said that they should return the case back to the High Court again, where it will be determined if NNAMDI Kanu has any case to answer or not. So this is the controversial judgment of the Supreme Court, ignoring the victory of NNAMDI Kanu in appeal court. But now, if you are going to try NNAMDI Kanu, the first thing is that you should at least obey your own court sort of orders. Restore this is like going beyond the appeal court now. Appeal court that actually discharged him, acquitted him, and said he has no case in Nigeria. Right? So at least go, if you can't use that of appeal court, use that of the Supreme Court, Abi. So they returned him back to Nyako. By the time they returned him back to Nyako, they've dropped treasonable felony charges. They are now charging him for terrorism. And that was when they said, you guys are mad. It is part of the corrupt judicial system in that contraption where justice is, is pretty much like for the highest bidder, they will say. The entire system, rigged system, right, with bogus charges, just wanted this man out of circulation to stop exposing the agenda of the Fulanis and their collaborators in Nigeria against the indigenous people of Nigeria. Now, this is why you see this target on NNAMDI Kanu. In their own courts, he defeated them in their own courts. He forced them to actually act so